So I got a
He's
quick
not, he didn't do
question. What are your thoughts on ICE, and what if we didn't have ICE to be sending the big booty Latinas to Alligator Alcatraz?
Well, don't you? I feel like you would support federalized government in some aspect of protecting borders.
Why do you feel the constant need to ascribe views to me?
I'm asking. I'm saying. Would you? I feel like I'm saying.
Can you answer my question?
What's that?
Why do you feel the constant need to ascribe views to me?
Because I don't know what you think about things. I want to ask you questions to see how you think.
But you're framing it in such a way that you're presuming my answer. That's
Well,
the
I
issue.
said I feel. That's why I said I feel that
Okay.
this might be something, and you can dispute it.
Sure, but your feelings are the problem because when cops are implementing
Oh
the
my
law and they're
God.
having a bad day, they're going to take their feelings out on the side of your head.
Facts don't
so-
care about your feelings, folks.
Mr. Malice, do you support ICE?
I think having open borders is disastrous for America. Yeah.
So-
however, I'm going to say one more point. I had Owen Schroyer on my show, and this is Owen's words, not mine. And Owen went to jail he's one of the January 6 martyrs. He's hardly on the left. And his whole point is, if you have someone here who's been working on a farm for like 20 years, like this is not my priority to take them and deport them. And he goes, this is going to backfire really bad on the Republican Party. And I don't think he's entirely wrong. I think the bigger issue...
That's why big booty Latinos get to stay, right?
No, I think the bigger issue, instead of the illegal immigrants, is birthright citizenship. That's what's attracting people
But
to come here.
so let me ask you this question: should we have a privatized immigration enforcement system?
It would be more effective, don't you think?
So, but is that yes? Like each local jurisdiction
What do you mean
will,
by we?
should the people who live in various communities upon themselves create private enterprise that would be supported by individuals who would subscribe to that service to go to businesses and go to homes and take people who are here illegally and deport them?
No, I don't think it should be done in a community because that's not going to be effective, right? Because if my
Those are private businesses.
but my point is if it's
and then
like
people have to pay for it.
right, but my point is if they're just looking at Austin and I know that they're going to be bad in Austin as an illegal immigrant, I'm just going to go to San Antonio or somewhere else. So unless it's some kind of federal border thing, it's really going to have an insane amount of loopholes.
So should the people then should there be some federal jurisdiction like
There has to
federal
be. There has to be.
federal private companies that do immigration enforcement? Who pays for it? Like who's the customer?
If you're going to have a national government, you're going to have some taxation to find.
In your view, with no police, and we want to enforce
wait,
immigration.
no. In my view, there's just no government police. There's still private
Yes,
police. right?
agreed,
Okay,
agreed.
yeah.
So in this system of private police,
But the thing is, in my view, there's no birthright citizenship. Everything's private. A lot of these issues are kind of fall by the wayside because you could hire and fire whoever you want, and so
even if they just walked across the border, then
right.
So there'd be tons of people who weren't from here just coming here without any laws. Or
But
anything.
also, there'll be tons of people who aren't getting free welfare. They're not getting free schooling. They're not getting driver's licenses. They're not getting all these other things. So the number of people who come here, the problems with the immigrants isn't necessarily like that stereotypical guy who's like outside Home Depot wants a job.
So
it's the people who are just here to be on the dole and then to raise
Okay.
their kids to vote Democrat.
So in this system where currently polling shows that most people, and this is across the board, even CNN finds this, want illegal immigrants deported.
Sure, and I'm not against that.
Who is the customer base to hire a private immigration company?
So I don't know that would work in a private mechanism. Because,
So then how
hold
does-
on, let me finish. Because there's not any individual who's the victim, right?
Agreed.
So if there's like if you get killed and you have like a private security, they're going to track down your killer. But this is something that's a societal issue, so it has to be handled societally.
So if you have a system where law enforcement is privatized, everybody, or I should say in the majority of the country, most people are like, we all agree these people shouldn't be here. Unfortunately, there's no mechanism by which
Wait,
the
wait,
market...
I don't think I'm going to disagree with you slightly. There's something called revealed preferences, right? So people might say, I'm for this issue, but as soon as they see that footage on TV, all of a sudden they're against it. So people speak out of both minds on many issues. So ostensibly, people are against deporting illegal immigrants, but when they see that grandma on TV, all of a sudden, no.
Okay,
like
so
that.
in this hypothetical scenario
Yes.
where everybody agrees, people who enter here illegally or in violation of the will of the market and the community, we want them removed. It doesn't sound like you can do it.
Well, it's also that there wouldn't really be a problem.
It doesn't matter if there's a problem. It matters we're all here right now and we're like, hey, we got to throw this guy out, but no one can do it. This guy's here
I
heckling.
didn't say no one could do it.
How? If
Right now,
who could either?
Who's the
Anyone.
customer? Who
Wait,
pays for it?
Wait, if you want to get somebody out of this place, anyone can do it.
So in this system, then it would just be incumbent upon the citizenry to be like, we're going to go out and we're going to grab people and remove them.
But I don't think there'll be that many people to remove.
That's not the argument. That's not the question.
Can I finish?
No, because
Real
you're changing.
quick, Amber
you're changing,
Duke, come
hold
on down,
hold
Amber Duke.
The question I have is, right now, the perception is illegal immigrants shouldn't be here. If
That's
it was
not the perception.
okay, a hypothetical scenario where
Oh
people
my God,
don't want
can you arrest
illegal
him?
immigrants here, how do you enforce it if there's no customer base? There can be no private solution in that regard.
What
They
about
took our
Batman?
jobs.
A bunch of vigilantes.
There's different kinds of illegal immigrants. So these kind of questions conflate different things, right? So it does matter because people are certainly willing to put resources to someone who's a member of a gang, but they might ostensibly before get rid of that grandma.
So
But you
okay.
have to let me finish.
But I've asked you a very specific question. You will not answer.
Correct, I won't.
You won't. So
I
I guess
won't.
I win the debate.
You win the debate.
There we
Tim
go.
wins the
Okay,
debate. Give it up for Tim Pool. All right, guys. Frequent Timcast guest, the one, the only Amber Duke, and I wanted Amber to come up here because, Rich, one thing we can admit, like, women cops suck, right? You can admit that.
I called for eliminating female cops this week. And culture calls them girl cops, which is appropriately demeaning. I
Lady
think.
cops.
That's- yeah, lady
It's always a
cops.
woman that'll always take another woman down.
Or jealous
She's
bitches.
like, she's got authority over me. Get
Was
rid
that
of
was
her.
that your question, Amber?
No, my question is on the point about the good cops who follow orders being the problem more so than the politicians.
No, more so than the bad cops.
Well, more so than the bad cops. Okay,
Yes, not
so-
more so than the politicians, please. No,
Okay,
no, no.
fair. Yeah, because I mean, I guess my point then, rather than my question, would be that politicians and the elected officials who make the laws or the DAs who decide to prosecute are the much bigger problem because if you use the analogy of the deep state, right?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Right? The issue is that we would say people who are unelected bureaucrats who don't follow what the Trump administration wants to do, for example, are the problem. And the people who would follow what the Trump administration wants to do are the ones who are the good ones. But for some reason, in your opinion, when we elect politicians or we elect DAs, suddenly the cops who follow what the people elected to do are the issue.
No, they're part of the issue. As I said earlier, if I hire Tim to kill Alex, we're both at blame.
But I'm saying the majority of people elected a
I
DA.
don't care. The majority is of no relevance. Our Constitution.
But if the majority elect the president and then the unelected bureaucrats don't follow what the president did, then that's
I would have
fine
been
then.
very happy if the unelected bureaucrats defied Biden, for example. Second of all, by design, the people do not elect the president. We have an electoral college because the founding fathers were very much scared that voters would have too much power. So they elect electors, and electors elect the president. And this might be a minor issue, in your opinion or other opinion of others, but the popular vote is not the determining factor, or else we would have President Hillary, which I'm sure you wouldn't like. So what the majority want, it's first of all, it's not the majority of voters, is of no relevance when it comes to my rights. Freedom means I do what you want, not what you want, or a majority of people want.
I punched a female cop once.
That's awesome.
You know, I was going to say you looked like it, but I didn't want to be rude.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she's pretty hot.
She's not hot anymore.
It wasn't a great punch. I was really drunk.
Is that why
Hey,
you
let-
escaped Australia?
Let me finish. I don't want to.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just pretending to be an asshole. No, I was in an
Mission
alley.
accomplished.
I was in an alleyway in a street fight, and I had hair. God damn it, I hate the fucking past. But I
too.
Somebody pulled my hair, and I span around and punched him, and it was a female police officer.
Jesus.
And when she hit the deck, I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, 'cause I didn't mean it. You know what I mean? If I had known, I would not have thrown that punch. But then I ran away because I got scared. I assaulted a police officer, and I hate admitting this, but she caught me. She outran me. I was drunk. And
She
then-
deserved to be there.
yeah, fuck, there's way more that came after that. I got punished pretty bad. She tripped me over. I fell on the ground. Then she got me up against the wall, and she put handcuffs, my hands above my head, and she kneed me in the butt, and it made my balls hit the wall.
Yeah.
And then when my balls hit the wall, it made me lean forward and headbutt the wall. So it was a fucking sweet combo that she gave me. And then when I went to jail, all the other police officers, they put handcuffs around the back of my hamstrings. So I was on my face and on my knees on the ground. And then she beat me up with a baton for a while. Yeah,
You said it was a bad punch, right? If
Yeah.
it were a male cop, they wouldn't have hit the deck.
You got the wrong guy. Anyway.
So-
But then they let me out the next day because I was a foreigner or whatever, and they didn't
This
keep
is in
me.
America?
Yeah, San Diego.
Holy
Fucking
shit.
1992? Holy shit.
I'm fucking 53. I think it was 92 actually. But then I remember with no driving, no car, no tax, no money. So we walked back to Mission Beach, and a homeless guy pissed himself in the cell, so I slept in his piss. So then when I was walking back down the freeway, his pee was in between my legs. I got crazy chafe, so I started walking like a crab for like 5 miles. I was walking sideways. I never hit another woman ever again.
There you go. All right, Armand Gupta, come on down. Come
Wait,
up
can
to
I
the mic. Where's Armand Gupta? Sanjay's son is here. We're not going to get vaccinated, you asshole. All right, come on.
That was a good story of a woman holding her own and fucking you up a
Yeah, I
little
know.
bit.
I was impressed, man.
I would have been.
Yeah,
I probably
was-
would
I
have
was
asked
into
her to
it.
marry me.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
she
Michael.
didn't know. She would have said no.
Who's talking?
To
All
me.
right, Armand.
Oh,
It's me
I
talking.
got you.
I can't
Armand,
see shit with
you
these
got
glasses.
1 minute, Armand.
I have a question. So, do you think that if you had private security forces or private police forces, would those be non-human or human as well?
we asked
touched
this
that.
already, but
Yeah, we asked about cyborgs.
I'm asking. If we asked it, let's keep going.
I think
Would they be human?
it depend on the market.
of course the
Depend
Indian
on the-
guy wants to talk about AI, dude. What is your deal? Like, this isn't a chat GPT session.
My
What-
challenge with your argument is mainly that you're saying that because humans can do evil things, that police can do evil things. But even in a privatized world,
Shut
would
up.
not it still be humans that are doing evil things?
No, what I think what you're referring to what. Okay.
Wait,
Oh, that's Richie Jackson.
I
saying that.
think what you're referring to is my point being that when you become a cop, you give up your conscience because you're there to obey the orders of sociopaths above you.
Do you
And
think?
that-
Do you think contracts should be?
Can I finish?
No.
Can he finish?
Do you think?
Can he finish?
What
no,
is
no, no,
going
no,
on?
no. He said he would be unreasonable. So just
Oh.
because you talk a lot, and that's okay. But I think some of these questions can be answered a little shortly. Do you think that
I do everything
contract- if
shortly.
two-
I'm 4'11".
If two people, if two people, my mom's also 4'11". If
I
two
am your
pe-
mom.
If
And let me tell you,
it's nice to
I
meet
am
you.
not proud. I
if
had
two
that
people
knitting
sign-
needle up there for weeks.
if two people sign a contract, and one of the and in that contract they sign away some of their own agency to some other organization, would that not be the same thing as police officers joining of the police force and signing away some of their agency?
That's a great question. I'll answer your question. The point is, with any contract, including the police employment, you can walk as long as you're
So?
because as long as you're staying there and saying, I'm going to turn off my conscience and do whatever this person tells you, right or wrong, that is something that makes you on some level immoral.
That's actually, but that's not true. If like let's say that what emerges in this private market system is they say, listen, we can't sustain a business off of at-will contracts, so we require a 1-year commitment.
Sure,
in any
but
contract.
any contract's going to have some kind of consequence for you to walk, right?
Right.
The military, for example, you can't really walk, you go to jail. So at a certain point, everyone who has a conscience, like, okay, go out and shoot those kids in the head, fuck it, I'll take the fine.
Yeah, but how many cops are going out there and just randomly shooting people in the head?
It's not random. They're following
No,
orders to do so. The book called
Give
Ordinary
me an
Men-
example
there-
of us following orders to shoot somebody in the
There's
head.
a great
female
book. It's
cop.
hold on,
Every
hold on.
female cop.
The book is called Ordinary Men, and then they're rounding
About
up.
World War II, America. We're in
That-
America.
It could never happen here because cops aren't human beings.
Well, then give
right?
me an example.
On the point
Sure.
about private security
I'm-
potentially replacing cops, I think all agreed that there's a problem with tickets, for example, when you're driving erratically, disproportionately affecting lower income people. Would a private security force not disproportionately impact lower income people because they wouldn't have the funds to hire the best security?
I'm going to answer his question earlier because I think that's much more, and I'll get to yours.
That's a good question.
Thank
Fuck.
Yes, in America, there have not been examples of cops rounding up and killing people, thank God, killing kids. My point being, I don't think that the Polish mind or the German mind or any other country's mind is that radically different from, God help us, from how American people operate, number one. Number
But can
two-
you show that having a private police force would be somehow better than what we have currently?
The-
Because all you've done is criticize the police that we have in this country. You haven't shown at all that a private police force would somehow be better. Do you have an example? Do you have any data? What do you think would? How
He
could
did
you
say
prove
that we
would
were
be actually
human.
possible?
So
Say
that
again.
was nice.
as I opened this entire debate, I'm not here to advocate for or change people's minds about private police. I'm just hoping you all understand that when you talk to the police, it is a mistake, and they are not there to help you. They are there to hurt you. As for a private police force, we can see this very easily in other circumstances because you're going to have much more accountability. It is
Why?
much.
Thank you, Richard.
All right, Armand, thank you. Make sure to send him all the bobs and vagine he can handle.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.